Write an engaging and emotional story based on the title, sir. My mommy disappeared after her blind date. One single dad braved the snow to find her. Begin the story with hook who joints the viewers at the end. Immediately capture attention, also motive viewers to like video and subscribe the channel. Develop the plot with emotional depth and relatable characters, including key challenges and their resolutions. Ensure the story maintains a smooth pace suitable for an 4,000-minute YouTube video, leaving a strong, inspiring message by the end. Plain paragraphs but long story as you can based on 2,000-word estimate. In the dead of winter, with snowflakes whipping through the air like tiny daggers, a little girl clutched her father's hand, her voice trembling as she whispered into the phone, "Sir, my mommy disappeared after her blind date." Those words, raw and desperate, echoed through the emergency line, pulling at the heartstrings of anyone who heard them. Imagine being that child, alone in the storm of uncertainty, or that father, his world shattering in an instant. If this story tugs at your emotions already, hit that like button right now. It helps stories like this reach more hearts, and subscribe to our channel for more tales of love, loss, and unbreakable bonds that remind us why family is everything. Now, let's dive into the heart-wrenching journey of one single dad who braved the impossible to bring his family back together. It all started in a quiet suburban town nestled in the foothills of the Rocky Mountains, where winters were as unforgiving as they were beautiful. Mark Thompson was a 38-year-old widower, raising his 7-year-old daughter, Lily, on his own after losing his wife to a sudden illness 3 years earlier. Mark worked as a mechanic at a local garage, his hands always stained with grease, but his heart full of love for the little girl who had become his entire world. Lily was a bright-eyed bundle of energy, with curly brown hair that bounced when she laughed and a smile that could melt the iciest day. But lately, that smile had been fading. Mark knew he couldn't be both parents forever. He needed to move forward, for Lily's sake and his own. That's when Sarah entered the picture. Or at least, that's what Mark hoped. Sarah Jenkins was a 35-year-old elementary school teacher, divorced and starting over after a messy breakup. They met through a blind date app, the kind where algorithms promised connections but rarely delivered on the magic. Mark was hesitant at first. What if it doesn't work out, he'd confided to his sister over coffee one morning. Lily's already lost one mom, I can't risk bringing someone in who might leave. But his sister encouraged him. You deserve happiness, Mark. And Lily needs to see you try. So, he swiped right, and after a few messages filled with shared laughs about parenting mishaps and favorite coffee spots, they agreed to meet at a cozy diner on the edge of town. The date was on a Friday evening, just as the first flurries of a predicted blizzard began to fall. Sarah arrived bundled in a red coat, her cheeks flushed from the cold, and Mark felt a spark he hadn't experienced in years. They talked for hours. About her passion for teaching art to kids, his dreams of opening his own garage someday, and the quiet aches of single parenthood. I get it, Sarah said softly, reaching across the table. My ex left me with nothing but doubts. But kids like Lily? They're the reason we keep going. Mark nodded, feeling seen for the first time in ages. As the snow thickened outside, they parted with a promise to meet again soon. Sarah texted him when she got home, safe and sound. Can't wait for round 2. Smiling face with smiling eyes. But the next morning, everything changed. Lily woke Mark at dawn, her eyes wide with worry. Daddy, Mommy's not answering her phone. Mark chuckled at first, rubbing sleep from his eyes. Sweetie, Sarah's not your mommy yet, we just met. But Lily, with the innocent persistence only a child could muster, insisted. She said she'd call this morning to say hi to me. You promised. Mark checked his phone, no messages. He called Sarah, it went straight to voicemail. An hour passed, then 2. By noon, with the snow piling up outside their window, Mark's worry turned to panic. He called her work number, nothing. Her apartment complex? The manager said she hadn't been seen since the night before. The police were sympathetic but unhelpful at first. Adults go missing for all sorts of reasons, Mr. Thompson. Give it 24 hours. But Mark couldn't wait. The blizzard was intensifying, winds howling at 40 miles per hour, visibility dropping to near zero. Roads were closing, schools shutting down, and the town hunkered in for what meteorologists called the storm of the decade. Lily clung to him, tears streaming down her face. What if she's lost in the snow, Daddy? Like in the stories? Mark's heart broke. He remembered the pain of losing his wife, the endless nights of grief, the way Lily's questions about where Mommy went had haunted him. He couldn't let history repeat itself, not for his daughter, and not for Sarah, who had already started to feel like a missing piece of their puzzle. Determined, Mark bundled Lily up and dropped her off at his sister's house. Stay here, kiddo. Daddy's going to find her. Lily hugged him tight, her small voice cracking. Promise you'll come back with her? Mark swallowed hard. I promise I'll try. As he stepped out into the storm, the cold bit through his jacket like teeth. His old truck protested against the wind, tires slipping on the icy roads. He headed first to Sarah's apartment, a 20-minute drive that stretched into an hour as snowdrifts blocked his path. Plowing through with sheer will, he arrived to find her car still in the lot, covered in a foot of white powder. No footprints, no signs of struggle, just eerie silence. Inside, with the superintendent's reluctant help, Mark entered her unit. It was tidy, almost too perfect. Her phone lay on the kitchen counter, battery dead. A half-packed bag sat by the door, as if she'd been interrupted mid-thought. Then he saw it, a note scribbled on a napkin. Meeting X at old spot. Need closure. Back soon. Mark's stomach dropped. Sarah had mentioned her ex-husband, Ryan, briefly, a controlling man who'd made her life hell during the divorce. Could he have lured her out? Mark's mind raced with worst-case scenarios, abduction, accident in the storm or something darker. With no time to waste, Mark pieced together clues from Sarah's social media, open on her laptop, and old texts. The old spot was a lakeside cabin they once shared, about 50 miles north, deep in the mountains. But the roads there were treacherous even in summer. In this blizzard, it was suicide. The police, reached by phone, warned him off. Stay put, sir. Rescue teams can't even get out there yet. But Mark thought of Lily's face, of Sarah's warm smile the night before. He couldn't sit idle. Stocking his truck with blankets, a flashlight, and emergency flares, he set off into the whiteout.